Imagine a single brutal act that shatters peace, ignites global conflict, or derails the future of a nation. Now, imagine that act is shrouded in shadows, its true masterminds forever elusive, its motives endlessly debated. Welcome to Voices from History, where today we delve into the chilling world of history's unsolved assassinations. These aren't just stories of murder, they are pivotal moments where the trajectory of civilizations shifted, often leaving behind a labyrinth of unanswered questions, tantalizing conspiracy theories, and a profound sense of what if. Why do these mysteries endure? Perhaps it's the unsettling thought that powerful forces can operate from the dark, manipulating events from behind the scenes, or simply the human need to find a deeper meaning, or even a villain in every tragedy. Join us as we pull back the curtain on some of history's most shocking and perplexing political murders, exploring the official narratives and the whispered counter-theories that continue to captivate. Our first journey takes us back to April 14th, 1865. The American Civil War had just ended. The nation was reeling but hopeful, and President Abraham Lincoln, the leader who had held the Union together, was enjoying a play at Ford's Theater. Then, a gunshot. Actor John Wilkes Booth, a staunch Confederate sympathizer, fired a derringer into the back of Lincoln's head before dramatically leaping onto the stage, shouting, "Sic semper tyrannis!" Booth was swiftly tracked down and killed days later, and several alleged co-conspirators were captured, tried, and executed. On the surface, it seemed like an open and shut case, a fanatic driven by the lost Southern cause. But for generations, historians and conspiracy theorists have asked, was it really that simple? Could one disgruntled actor, however fervent, have orchestrated such a profound event without a deeper, more powerful network? Whispers quickly began to circulate about a broader Confederate plot, involving high-ranking officials, or even elements within Lincoln's own government. Some theories point fingers at Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, suggesting he had motives to remove Lincoln for political reasons or to consolidate his own power. Others speculate about international involvement, from powerful European bankers to even the Catholic Church or the Jesuits, though these claims remain highly contentious and lack concrete evidence. The sheer complexity of the alleged escape routes, the seemingly well-placed sympathizers Booth encountered, and the unanswered questions surrounding the exact details of the conspirators' network have fueled endless debate. Was Booth a lone wolf, or merely a pawn in a far more intricate and devastating game? The precise truth of Lincoln's assassination, beyond Booth's clear culpability, continues to be a source of intense historical fascination and speculation, leaving a permanent question mark over one of America's darkest days. Next, we leap forward to June 28, 1914, to Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia-Herzegovina, then a province of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was on an official visit with his wife, Sophie. Europe was a powder keg of simmering tensions, nationalist ambitions, and complex alliances. That fateful morning, a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip, a member of the Black Hand secret society, fatally shot both the Archduke and his wife. The assassination was the immediate catalyst for World War I, pushing the fragile continent into an unprecedented global conflict. The official narrative is straightforward. Princip and his co-conspirators, driven by pan-Serbian nationalism and a desire to break free from Austro-Hungarian rule, planned and executed the attack. Their aim was to unite all South Slavs into a single state, a vision directly opposed to the Austro-Hungarian Empire's interests. But, like Lincoln's case, questions persist. How much did the Serbian government know beforehand? While officially denying complicity, evidence suggests some Serbian military intelligence officers were aware of the plot, perhaps even providing support, although the extent of official government sanction remains heavily debated. Could other European powers have played a more direct, albeit hidden, role? Some historians suggest that elements within the German government, eager for a pretext to launch a war and expand their influence, might have subtly encouraged the assassination or at least welcomed its outcome. Conversely, others argue that hardliners within the Austro-Hungarian Empire itself, who resented Franz Ferdinand's more moderate views and reforms, might have deliberately created an insecure environment for his visit, hoping for an incident that would justify war against Serbia. The apparent sloppiness of the Archduke's security, despite known threats, often raises eyebrows. Was Princip merely an instrument, an unwitting trigger in a larger geopolitical chess match, or was his act of defiance truly self-motivated and independent? The full scope of the conspiracy, the knowledge of various intelligence agencies, and the true motivations of all parties involved continue to be meticulously scrutinized. These assassinations, separated by half a century and an ocean, share a common thread. They represent moments of profound historical impact where the full truth remains stubbornly out of reach. Why do we as humans find ourselves endlessly drawn to these unresolved puzzles? Perhaps it's the innate desire for order and justice, the unsettling nature of loose ends in such monumental events. The official stories often feel too neat, too convenient, especially when the consequences are so vast. We crave the hidden narrative, the secret strings pulled by unseen hands, because it often feels more resonant with the complexity of real-world power dynamics. These persistent questions remind us that history is rarely a clean, linear narrative. It's a messy, often contradictory tapestry woven with human intentions, accidents, and sometimes deliberate obfuscation. The shadows lingering over Lincoln and Franz Ferdinand's deaths remind us that some truths are simply too dangerous, too inconvenient, or too deeply buried to ever fully surface. They force us to confront the unsettling possibility that even the most pivotal moments in history can be shaped by forces we may never fully comprehend. What are your thoughts on these enduring mysteries? Share your theories, evidence, or lingering questions in the comments below. We love hearing your perspectives and fostering discussion here on Voices from History. If you're fascinated by the hidden chapters of our past and the complex forces that shape our world, make sure to subscribe to Voices from History and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss our next deep dive into history's most compelling and often puzzling stories. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember that the past still holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered.